If kids are struggling to grasp the idea of how to actually hold the pencil and they keep changing it, I try not to force anything, but I do try and teach them with 2 different strategies depending on the child. So the first one is using your chomping fingers. So I get them to chomp, chomp, chomp their fingers together, either just the index and thumb or with the middle finger as well. And say we're going to use our chomping fingers to chomp the pencil. So we pick it up and we chomp the pencil, chomp, chomp. The other strategy I use is introducing Pilate. So this is Pilate, and he drives the pencil or flies the plane. And we have Max Support, which is the middle finger, and he likes to support Peter with flying the plane or driving the pencil. And then we have Polly Thumb. So I like to remind kids that Peter needs to be looking at the tip of the pencil, just like he needs to be looking out the window of a plane when he flies the plane, to make sure he doesn't crash and that he can see where he's going and controlling the plane. He needs to look at the tip to see where he's going to control the pencil. So we don't want Peter rapping, because that's not going to give him control. We don't want him up the top, because that's not going to give him control. So we need Peter to drive the pencil and keep us safe when we're riding, so we don't crash like we would crash a plane. And Max is either on top supporting or on the side, and same with Polly, on the side or up like this. The main focus is Peter is looking at the tip of the pencil. Another important thing to mention is that we need to use our helper hand while writing. So what our helper hand's job is to hold the paper or the book to stabilize it. This will stop this working hand from applying too much pressure to try and control and stabilize where the paper is, and it will also decrease pain and fatigue and all those kind of things. So we want to encourage our child to hold the paper as we write. You also need to consider the positioning of the book to assist with pencil grip and writing. So if you're left-handed, you want it tilted this way. So as you write, the tilt helps you see where you're writing and not block your vision. And if you're right-handed, you want it tilted the other way. And then as you write, it's the same. It's helping you to get that positioning better. A factor that affects pencil grip that many of us don't realise is more than just the hand and the positioning of the pencil. So let's have a look at my little man over here. Isn't he a great drawing? So pencil grip actually begins with postural support, which means we need to have strong core muscles to help us to sit tall in our chair, so we are not exhausting energy on trying to sit up straight. So if you see your kids are leaning over the table or resting their head on the table a lot, they might need to build some postural support muscles. Then we're going to look at shoulder stability. So our shoulders are so important in the way we hold the pencil. If our shoulders are not strong, then we're going to find that we tend to use arm movements rather than finger movements, or that may also be when we apply too much pressure because we're trying so hard to concentrate on these muscles because our shoulders aren't strong enough to support. And then we're looking at general arm strength as well, because the upper limb is all connected down into wrist stability. So our wrists need to be nice and strong as well to help us to have our hand on the table and use finger movements rather than wrist movements. So we want to concentrate on that wrist extension muscle. So that can be developed by drawing on a vertical surface or doing things like flicking games and all those kind of anything that's building that wrist extension muscle, because that is really important as well. And then we're going to look closer at the hand, which we need hand strength. We need strong hand muscles. We need to be able to separate our fingers. So we need to be able to tuck those two fingers down, or even those. So we need to be able to isolate our fingers, use our chomping fingers together without those two fingers. So we're not trying to grasp the pencil with all of our fingers. And we need to think about manipulation, which we talked about in another part of this clip, where we can turn the pencil or move objects within our hand. And another good activity to practice is going back and forth like this and doing it with our eyes closed, doing both hands at the same time, etc. But there's plenty of activities that we can do to build all of these muscles, which will then overall help our pencil grip. But just wanted to let you know that the body is important with pencil grip development.